in this Facebook video, I'm going to be talking to you about top application tips and answering your questions. I'll get to that in a second, but if you don't know me, I'm Samantha Hope and I'm the Graduate Recruitment Manager at Shoosmiths. So I just want to check if you can hear me, so just hit the wow button if you can hear me loud and clear. So a quick bit about me before we start. I studied law at university and then had some HR and recruitment experience before coming to Shoosmiths as the Graduate Recruitment Manager. And I've now worked here for 8 years. So I run a number of different events, including careers workshops, our insight evenings, we attend law fairs, and I manage the graduate programme along with my colleague Amy. She's at a course today, so she couldn't be online with me, but she will be featuring in future videos. So we look after trainees right from that beginning point when you're meeting us at events, through the application and assessment process, and then when you join us as a trainee solicitor at Shoosmiths, we welcome you to the firm on the firm-wide trainee induction, and we look after you until the point of qualification. So it's quite a long old time that we get to know you and that you get to know us. So it's great to have you watching today. We have 11 offices at Shoosmiths and we recruit trainee solicitors into 9 of them. I am sat in our Northampton office today filming this live. But that's enough about me. I want to know a little bit about you. So if you can just type into the comments below and let me know where you are watching us from today. And I'm just going to jump online and share this video. Okay, so if you think any friends would benefit from watching our live broadcast today, then also just tag them in the comments so they can come and watch this. We will be sharing this video after we go live as well, so if you're only able to stay for a bit, then hopefully you'll be able to jump back online and watch us later on, finish off the questions. So I'm going to start talking to you about my top 3 application tips, and then I'll look at some of the questions that have been submitted to us already. And of course, if you've got any questions, then you can just type them into the comments and I'll answer them as we go along. So first of all, I've never met a perfect applicant. So I've worked at Shoosmiths for 8 years, so I've been through quite a lot of application forms. I've met a lot of candidates at assessment days and also on vacation schemes, and we've had some incredibly amazing students coming through, but I don't think I've ever seen the perfect application. And a lot of people always ask me, well, how do I do the perfect application? But I don't think there is one. So I'm going to give you my top tips to help you on your way. Maybe I will see the perfect application this year. So first of all, my tip number 1 is explain right away at the front of the application why you want a career in law, and if that's at Shoosmiths, then obviously why at Shoosmiths as well. Be honest. Don't just say what you think we want to hear. I hope out of this video you'll get a real feel for me as a recruiter and also the firm that I represent, and certainly if you've met us at events, you'll get to know the rest of our people as well. And know that we do say we walk the talk, we talk the talk, and we walk the walk. So we really do want you to be honest and open on your application form. If you're applying for us for a vacation placement, for example, and it's because you don't have any legal work experience, then just say that. That's okay. We know that you've got to start from somewhere. If you've got other experiences and other work experiences, then of course you'll have transferable skills from those positions that you can apply to working in a law firm. So that's what we want to know about on the application form. But don't try and hide the fact, and don't be ashamed that you don't have any legal work experience. Everybody's got to start at the same point. We actually respect your honesty when we're reading the applications, and it means a lot to us that you can be open and honest. I think that's quite an attractive trait in people as well. So good communication, of course, is a cornerstone of any good business, but especially a business like Shoosmiths. So make it a priority for you to be a person who shares ideas, who talks openly, who's happy to share knowledge, much like we are today on Facebook Live, and talk about yourself honestly and open. Okay, so on to tip number 2. Read into the questions and really find out what we're asking you. So if we're asking you about relationship building, maintaining relationships in the workplace, it's because we want you to come to us with qualities of great relationship building so that you can build fantastic relationship with your colleagues and our clients. We want you to understand why those skills might be important to us. I think at Shoosmiths we're very inclusive. We have a culture that really celebrates everybody, and it doesn't matter what role you're in, your input is really valued. That's something that I absolutely love about working here. So being a supportive colleague to other people in the office and being able to see when other people need help is a quality that we hope a lot of our people have, and it's something that we'd definitely be looking for you in on the assessment centres and at application stage. Also, relationship building, I think, is important to us because we are so widely spread across the country. We have 11 offices, but we work as one national firm. We work cross-office and cross-practice group, so being able to build up relationships quickly but effectively is really important. Of course, you want to be able to empathise with your clients and the problems that they might have. You want them to trust you, and you might be guiding them through some very difficult business decisions. So being able to build up relationships with your clients as well is really important. And then, of course, maintaining them so that they remain a client of the firm and for you. Okay, so that was my tip number 2. My tip number 3 is use examples and evidence to back up what you're saying. So if you say you're a good team player, that is fantastic. But why? Where's the evidence? How do I know you're a good team player just from that statement? I want to know an example to show that you have been a good team player. I want to know why you think being a good team player is important to a role at Shoosmiths, and how you're going to add value to our firm by bringing that quality and skill to us. So before you start the application, write out a list of the skills and qualities that you think that you possess, and perhaps link them to experiences that you've had. So these can be in any area of your life. It doesn't just have to be work. It could be legal work experience or non-legal. It could be a part-time role, volunteering. It could be pro bono, citizens advice. It could be a hobby or just something in your personal life, or of course study or university. So whatever it is, link those skills and qualities to those experiences so that you can use them as evidence. And use a variety of examples from different areas of your life so that when we're reading your application form, we can see that you're a well-rounded person involved in lots of different things. And that's also really interesting to read. Makes it, a really great day when we go through a load of applications where people have done really interesting things and they're giving fantastic examples of their experiences. Remember at the end of your questions always to confirm why that's important to the role of a trainee solicitor at Shoosmiths and what value you will add to the firm. I think if you follow those top 3 tips, then you'll be well on your way to answering those competency-based questions on our application form. So I just wanted to remind you that our application deadline is 30th of June, so you've just got about 2 weeks still to apply for a training contract. After this video, head over to our website, shoosmiths.co.uk, find the careers section, and you'll be able to follow the Apply Now button. You can start the application and then you can save it and come back later if you don't have time to go through it today. But so 30th of June, there's not long still to apply. So did you agree with those top 3 tips? If you do, then just hit the like button for me so I can see that you're all still online. So I'm going to just run through some of the questions that people have been asking. I can see that you're listening from or watching us from all over. We've got somebody, Emily, who's watching from Northampton, hello, and Callum, he's watching from Havant while he's doing his intellectual property revision. I don't know if this will help with that revision, Callum, but it certainly do you some good for your training contract application, I hope. Imran, hello from Manchester. So fantastic that you're all watching from all over the country. So let's see what first question we've got here. So SAC has asked, do you reimburse LPC costs even if student finance funded it? So we do fund the LPC. We offer a financial assistance towards both the GDL and the LPC, actually. But we only offer it if we offer you your training contract before you start that course. So we don't retrospectively fund the LPC. So I'm afraid if you've already completed it, then there won't be any funding available for that. Let's see if we've got any other questions in here. Okay, so if you do have a question, just type one in. Okay, so we've got one from Emily. She says, what preparation do you recommend doing before a vacation scheme placement? Okay, that's a fantastic question. So in terms of prep, what we would normally ask you to do is to email your host, and we'll give you the details of who is going to be hosting you on your VAC placement, and ask them if there's any particular work that they would like you to look into, or cases or reading that might stand you in good stead for your week placement with Shoosmiths. So first of all, obviously they can give you some really detailed information about what you might be doing, and that will hopefully set you at ease for joining the firm as well. Secondly, you can look a bit more wider at the team. So you'll obviously know, for example, if you're joining the commercial team in Birmingham, then you'll be able to look on our website and see who the people are that work in that team, and then research them. And again, it'll make you feel really at ease when you're joining the firm and you already recognise some of the faces that you've researched. So you can look on our website, but also don't forget about LinkedIn, Twitter and Facebook. So look on all of those. Okay, so I saw quite a few questions just come in there, so let's have a look. Callum wants to know, what kind of tasks can successful applicants expect to see at the assessment centre? Okay, great question, and I thought I would do a bit of an overview of our assessment centre actually, because that's something a lot of people asked when I did the poll on the event. So if you, so the deadline is the 30th of June, and you will hear from us in the first 2 weeks of July to hear whether you have been successful from the application stage. You will hear from us regardless of whether you are successful or not. So you will absolutely get an email. If you are successful, then we'll be inviting you to attend an assessment day between the 25th and 29th of July. So it's quite a quick turnaround. You won't know who's interviewing you, and that's simply because we work out all our schedules a bit last minute, to be honest. But you can certainly research the type of assessors that we've had in the past and the partners on the website and on LinkedIn, so you get an idea for the type of people that will be there. Especially research people that are working in the firm or the office that you have applied to. So if you're applying to the Solent office, then definitely research more information about the people that work at Solent. Arrive no earlier than 15 minutes before your slot. And I just advise that because we're getting ready for the assessment centre in the morning. So you don't want to come too early and you don't want to come late. So about 15 minutes before is about right. We do also reimburse travel expenses for the assessment centre too, and I think that's really important to mention because I think people worry about where the assessment might be and how they're going to get there. So we hold most of our assessment days in the Birmingham office because it's quite central for everybody to get to, but we do reimburse your travel. So in the morning when you arrive, you'll see our receptionist and they will welcome you to the firm and make you feel at ease, and then you'll be welcomed by our trainees. And they're really easy to talk to, and the whole point of them chatting to you in the morning is to be a friendly face, really, to see you. So then you'll have an introduction talk from me and Amy, who's my colleague, and we will tell you a little bit about what you can expect from the day. So that will be a group exercise. So in a group exercise, you'll have around 8 people sat around a table discussing a topic that we have set you. After the group exercise, you'll have a Q&A session with our trainees. So I don't want to call it downtime because no time is really downtime on an assessment centre, but it's not an assessed part of the day, and it's a chance for you to learn a little bit more about us as a firm and about the trainees' experience. You'll have a networking lunch where you can network with all of the assessors and the partners who are assessing you on the day. And after that, you'll have your interview with a panel of 2 partners or HR members, And as part of the interview, you will also do a presentation. This will either be something that we have set beforehand or something that has been set on the day. And finally, the last thing, you'll have a written exercise, and that will be completed on a PC. So all in all, the day lasts from around sort of 10, half 10 till about half 3. So it is quite a full-on day, and it is quite hard work. But I hope that if you do get to come, you'll find it quite enjoyable. We are a really friendly, approachable firm, and our people are really supportive, and we want you to shine and do your best on the day. So we are all there for you to ask questions. So that's kind of an overview of the assessment centre. And it's coming around pretty quickly now, so I hope to see some of you there. So just before we move on to some more questions, I just wanted to say that we are going to be broadcasting live around once or twice a month until the end of the year, and we're going to be having many guest speakers join us, trainees and summer placement candidates. We've got some external speakers lined up as well. So Chris White from Aspiring Solicitors will be joining us for one of our live sessions. So if you would like to tune in to those future broadcasts, then just hit the follow button at the bottom of this video and you'll get notifications when we go live again in the future. We have also listed the dates on our website and as events on our Facebook page, so you can follow us on there as well. I would like to know if there's any specific topics that you'd like us to talk about in the future, or perhaps there might be some specific people that you'd like us to interview. So maybe our CEO, Claire Rowe, or our chairman, Peter Duff. Do you want me to interview them? Are there partners who work in specific areas of the law or departments or offices that you want to see me interview? Then just comment those, let me know, and we can get that arranged. Okay, so let's see what other questions we have got on here. We've got somebody, Emma, watching us from Cyprus. Hello, Emma. I bet it's sunny there. It's quite sunny today, actually, in Northampton too. So Michael wants to know, is there any flexibility on the 2020 intake? For example, can he start earlier, 2019? So actually, yes, we do have a few vacancies where we would be looking for people to start a little bit earlier. So you might know that we just recently opened a new office in Leeds, and we will be looking to recruit some trainee solicitors into that office starting probably in earlier years, 2018, 2019 perhaps. So keep an eye on our website, but certainly if you are interested in an earlier year, then do apply to us and we will absolutely consider you for that earlier time. Hassan would like to know, are there any niche areas of law that trainees may get to train in? So as standard, across all of our offices, we're full service. So we offer really the core areas of real estate, commercial, litigation, employment, and corporate. And trainees will really get to do a selection of any of those seats that they like. And then we have some slightly more niche areas. So within our real estate team, for example, we have construction, planning and retail. We have a tax team that sits within corporate. We have regulatory teams, and we do have an IP team as well, which is very popular. And specifically in Manchester, an IP media team. So yes, there are some more specialist areas. They don't come up as seats all the time, and they are harder to get a seat in. But if it's something that you are interested in, yeah, absolutely. We do listen to you. We want to know what seats you would like to do right at the beginning, and we talk to you throughout your training contract to make sure you get the training that you want. Okay, let's see. So we've got Blaze, who has asked, can you apply for both a VAT scheme and a training contract? So yes is the answer. You can, but the VAT scheme deadline has now passed. So at the moment, it is just the training contract application that's open. But when the applications reopen in December for next year, you'll be able to apply for a VAT scheme and a training contract at the same time. Let's see. So Andrea wants to know, are there any plans to alter the training contract scheme given the new SQE approval? That's a fantastic question. Actually, I went to an update with the SRA this week about the SQE, which is the Solicitor's Qualification Exam. So We haven't made any changes to our training contract scheme at the moment because we still don't know what the solicitor's qualification exam will look like. But we expect the last year that you'll be able to sit the old route of joining the LPC will be around 2020. So at the moment, we would advise you to continue along the path that you're going. If you're signed up for the LPC, absolutely continue along that path, and we will update you as soon as we make any changes to the plans. But I imagine after SQE comes in, our training program will look still very similar, and we will still offer, I imagine, a 2-year work experience or qualifying work experience for you to be able to complete the SQE2 at the end and then qualify. So yeah, just watch this space for more information coming out about that. Okay, so Daniel wants to know, are any people recruited for a training contract following the VAC scheme? So yes, they are. So the way that it works for us is you apply and you come on a vacation scheme. So we've got vacation schemes happening now in June, and you are assessed on the vacation scheme. So if you're assessed and by your team, then you may be then put forward to the assessment centre. So then everybody goes through the same assessment centre. If you're a VAC schemer, you might be an internal candidate, or you might have just applied for a training contract fresh, then everybody does the same assessment centre. So yes, everybody's got the same chance of performing as well on that day. Okay, so we've got about 10 minutes left. I've got some questions that came in already before the broadcast today for people that weren't able to tune in. So I'm going to answer some of those. And some of them we have already spoken about. But Maya wants to know, how can non-law grads stand out? So we absolutely invite both law graduates and non-law graduates to apply for a training contract at Shoosmiths. We really value the skills and the qualities and the experiences that non-law graduates might bring to our firm. And I think it's really good to have a balance. So in previous years, we've recruited probably about 60% law graduates and 40% non-law. We don't have a target to do that, but that's just the way it seems to have happened, and that probably is reflective of the number of applications we receive as well. So in terms of standing out, I think playing upon the additional experiences that you have and that you may have gained through your non-law degree, whatever that might be, is going to be the way that you're able to stand out against others. So another question that we got come in was, do seats differ in each location? So as I've already explained, we are a full service firm, and we do offer all of the core areas in every one of our offices. But for example, if you have a real interest in IP, then you want to be applying to one of the offices that offers that. And same with tax. If you really want to do tax, then apply for the Reading office, but some of the other offices might not offer that. So if there is a specialist area that you're interested in, you can speak to us at an event. Speaking to our trainees is probably the best way, and finding out what seats they've done and get an understanding for which seats are available in which office. So Daniel sent me a question before we started as well, and he wants to know what is different about a Shoosmiths training contract. And I actually think this is a really difficult one to answer. And I think probably if I answer why is Shoosmiths different, I think it's our people, our inclusive culture that enables everybody to be themselves. You don't ever feel bad for asking a question or approaching somebody for help. And I think that that's a really encouraging and motivating environment to be in for everybody, not just for trainee solicitors, but particularly for trainees. When you're learning and you need support still, obviously you want to be in an environment where you feel supported. So I think that is really important. And I think hopefully by watching this video, you'll get a feel for whether we might be the right firm for you. And if you think we are, then you can go on and apply for our Insight evenings or training contract and find out a bit more about us that way. Okay, so back to some questions that people have asked right now. So Imran wants to know, how much choice do you get in deciding which seats you can do? So when you join the firm, you will go into a specific office, and each office has an allocated training principal, and they will discuss with you right at the beginning what your sort of ideal training contract looks like. We would advise you to be quite open-minded, because you might come in and be dead set against doing something, but then another trainee might do it and love it, and you might want to give it a go. So be open-minded, but it is good to have an idea of what you'd like to do. Second years tend to get first choice of the seats that are available in the office, simply because they're closer to qualification. And we also have client secondments as well available, and they're advertised to everybody, and you would apply for those with a short 300-word application, and we would consider you along with the partner for that client. So that's a fantastic opportunity too. And then, of course, there is the opportunity to do seats in other offices as well. We normally do that with offices that are close by geographically. So, for example, you might be a trainee in the Solent office, and you'll probably then do 3 seats there, but you might go to Reading to do 1 seat, or maybe do a seat on a client secondment in London instead, or something like that. So there's quite a lot of flexibility, and we really try and shape the training contract around you. Okay, so you're still enjoying me talking, because I feel like I've been talking for a while now. If you are still enjoying these tips, just hit the love heart so I know I can continue. I can't see any love hearts coming in. This is worrying. Okay, so I'm going to carry on with a couple more questions. So Lydia wants to know, do those who have been successful in getting a vacation placement have an advantage over those who were not successful but are invited to the assessment centre? So it's quite a long question. So basically, do VAT schemers have an advantage? So on the assessment day, no. How everybody got to the assessment day is of no relevance anymore. It's your performance on the day that matters. So no, there's no scoring advantage or anything like that. Of course, you might have an advantage because you'll have spent a week in our firm on a VAC placement, so your knowledge might be broader, but that's certainly knowledge that can be gained from home, even if you don't come on a VAC scheme anyway. So it's all about you and how much work really you want to put into preparing for the assessment centre. Isha wants to know, are Shoosmiths considering offering a seat in private client? That's a fantastic question. Thank you, Isha. So we don't really have that many seats in private client available at the moment, but that is certainly something that we do. We have the private client teams. We have medical negligence and conveyancing. We have family. So yes, absolutely. And we really just need the trainees to come in and say that they want to do those seats, and then we'll be able to offer them. So yes, absolutely, we can. Let's see if we got any other questions here. So, would an applicant be considered for office locations but that they haven't put down as a first or second choice? So ordinarily we will be looking at you for the offices that you have selected. So on our application form you choose like a dual office location, so for example Reading and Solent, and then we ask you of those 2 offices which one is the preference. So you might say Solent. Now on the assessment centre we will ask you again during the interview, can you tell us which office is your preference? And it might be that you don't have a preference and that you'll travel to any office to complete your training contract, in which case then yes, we would consider you for any office then. So just remind us on the assessment day, but you will be asked in the interview. Let's see, what else have we got here? So many questions, guys. Thank you so much. Hassan wants to know, what sort of responsibilities are trainees given? So trainees at Shoosmiths are, I don't want to say thrown in the deep end, but really you are expected to start doing real work from day one. We really do think that learning by doing is the best way to get through and learn quickly. So we give you responsibility right up front. So that might mean going out to clients, talking to clients right in your first week. Of course, there's always support there for you. You'll never be left to do something that we didn't think you were capable of. And there's a lot of trust invest in our firm, that means that we're supporting you to do your best and pushing you to make sure you're getting the most out of your training experience. So in terms of responsibility, yeah, there's quite a lot up front. So you might find yourself over time managing case files or having your own clients to deal with, and certainly in different departments, and the further along in your training contract that you get, you will find that you've got more responsibility. The other responsibility that trainees have is in terms of joining a lot of our committees and champions. So we have a gender equality working group, we have diversity champions, we have fundraising and charity groups. So there's a huge amount of stuff to get involved in, and our trainees are fantastic at getting involved in that work and driving forward a lot of initiatives in our business. So that's that sort of responsibility to get involved in as well, which makes your training contract a really nice complete package. So what else have we got here? Do you have any tips for how to behave on a vacation scheme? So that's Bianca asking that question. Yeah, so you want to treat it like a week-long interview. You want to be impressing. You are going to be assessed on the vacation scheme, so you absolutely want to show off your best talents, your strengths, show the skills and qualities that you've got. So I'd expect vacation scheme students to be very proactive and confident, even though you might not feel that confident when you first arrive. Hopefully we'll be friendly and approachable enough that you will gain your confidence quickly. Ask people if they want help, and if you're not sure how to do something, then just ask somebody. Everybody is always really happy to help. So I think just really positive behaviours, saying yes and getting involved, looking enthusiastic about the work, even though you might not be sure exactly what the end goal is. And the more positive you are, the more you'll absolutely get out of the experience. So Diana has asked, what kind of presentation shall we expect to prepare for the interview during the assessment day? So I think this year in the past we have looked at you doing a presentation in advance, so preparing a presentation in advance and bringing it with you. And this hasn't been a PowerPoint presentation. We don't use any equipment. It's just really you standing in front of the interview assessors and discussing a topic that we have set. And it's usually something that means that you've got to research a bit more about our firm and law firms in general and the legal profession. So you could have cards or note cards that you refer to, or handouts. I think this year we will slightly change our assessment centre, and you might need to prepare a presentation on the day at the assessment centre, in which case I'm afraid there's not any preparation that you can do aside from the usual preparation you do for an assessment centre. So researching Shoosmiths, researching the business that we offer, our core values, how we like to interact with clients, and yeah, come prepared with all of that information and you'll do just fine. Hassan has asked, what will the written exercise consist of during the assessment centre? So the written exercise is usually an opportunity for you to show your written communication skills. We set you a task that is, I guess you should treat it a bit like an exam because it is time pressured, and you want to summarise some information that you've learnt about on the day and deliver it to us in a way that is really concise and clear, as we would expect you to be writing to a client, for example, and really persuasive as well. So again, there's not a lot of preparation that you can do with that, but just making sure on the day in the written exercise that you take your time. Use spell checker, you're allowed to use that, that's okay, and make sure that you really read the questions and cover all the points necessary. Okay, so I've been online now with you guys live for 35 minutes, and I hope that I've been able to answer most of your questions. If I have missed a few, then I will make sure that I put them aside for next time or comment back to you. If you're not watching this live, then you still can post a comment. I do jump on afterwards and I will answer them for you. So just before we close, I want to know if you've enjoyed what we've been talking about so that we know whether to do this again. So hit the love heart if you have enjoyed what I've been saying. I also want to do a quick shout out to some of our supporters. Lots of people have said that they would share our video today and also share us on Twitter and LinkedIn, which is we're so appreciative of. So we will just give you a shout out in the comments after we've published this video online as well. And some of those places, guys, are really great information places, so you can go and follow those as well. Thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button that I mentioned so that you can get updates for next time that we go live. And we're going to be going live next month, definitely. And I look forward to reading your applications. Okay.